approached in 1993 to become a Rotarian with the Yarmouth Club. Up to that point, there had been no women in the club. It was primarily a gentlemen's club. So it was quite an honor for myself and another Rotarian at that time, Irene D'Entremont, to be able to become Rotarians. It's been a long association that I've had with them. I've spent time doing activities for the community and for the club.
I joined Rotary, I believe it was in May of 2000. I had spoken to at Rotary for different things over the years. I made different presentations on different projects that I was involved in the community, and was invited a couple of times. The first time I thought about it but didn't get involved, and then the second time I did. So that was I believe in May of 2000.
Since I've been in the club in 1993 to today, I've seen our membership swell to over 70 and then come down a bit. We have quite a variety of business people in our club. We also have all ages and interests. I find being a Rotarian has been very good for me in that I've been able to be involved in my community.
I attended the International Convention in Montreal with 20,000 Rotarians from all over the world, which is a phenomenal experience when you see the vast number of countries represented that Rotary is involved with and involved in, and the friendships that you have a common bond, and very quickly build up friendships that are lifelong. So it's an exciting organization because it's not only local but it's international and leads the way in many things in many parts of the world.
I've been able to work with people that I normally wouldn't have gotten to know, and to get to know them when we're all trying to be of service to our community, not just Yarmouth but also internationally, has been a benefit, because we all need to give of ourselves, and this was certainly a way for me to do it.
Rotary International was founded in Chicago, Illinois in 1905 by a young lawyer named Paul Harris. He formed a small group of businessmen who met once a week to find ways they could serve others. They called it Rotary because each week the group would rotate or meet at a different member's place of business. Today, the club spans the globe and has grown to over 1.2 million members in nearly 32,000 clubs in 165 countries. One of the reasons Rotary has grown so rapidly over the years is because of the appeal of the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? By applying this simple test in their lives, Rotarians have helped meet the purposes of the club.
Rotary meetings are usually once a week on Mondays at 12:15 is the advertised time, but we start gathering some a little before 12. We have a meal, and then we go into our meeting, and you go through the formal part of. It's usually the same every week, and then we have a speaker from various and wide and sundry groups coming, talking about what they're involved in their business or professional activities, and then periodically a Rotarian will talk about what we call a classification talk, where you talk about your own what you're involved in, and what you do and why you do it, and your family, this type of thing. So people get to know a little bit about you, and you get to know a little bit more about the other members in your club. So that's about a 10 or 15 minute talk, and then questions, but it's a lot of fun and fellowship, and a lot of if you noticed from the meetings, you get a lot of bantering back and forth, and that's all in good fun, and it's relaxing and enjoyable.
In memory of John Francis Gowdy, after John's passing, I received from the Rotary Foundation his Paul Harris Fellowship to Sapphire. And what that means, John, in his years as a Rotarian, thought of the foundation quite a bit, and he contributed to the Rotary International Foundation, and this is his second sapphire pin. So as we move closer to a peaceful world, John Francis Gowdy has become a Paul Harris Fellow, 2 sapphires, so he's contributed more than $1,000. Now, he contributed to the Rotary Foundation International, and that contribution that he has made is allaying suffering, improving living conditions, and providing educational opportunities for young people somewhere in the world. Now, this is truly a selfless action that John has done. A Paul Harris Fellow as a Paul Harris Fellow, in special appreciation for the ways in which his life exemplifies the humanitarian educational objectives of the Rotary Foundation. And this pin is in recognition of that selfless donation that John has made.
The latest project that I've worked on was trying to supply some shelter boxes for the earthquake victims out in Haiti. And I think on our committee we gathered about $25,000 to buy shelter boxes. And it was a great project. It came in quick. I think we raised that money within about a month, maybe a little over a month. And as we got the money, we'd send it to shelter boxes, and they would send the relief boxes out to Haiti. As soon as we got the money, we'd get it out to them, and they would send it out as soon as they could. So.
I've been involved in various committees, local committees, for helping the needy. Right now, we have a sponsored child in Haiti, and we pass the jar around every month and raise money for that. And anything extra goes to the orphanage for their use as they see fit. So that's been, you know, I've had reports back and forth from that. I know that's a very positive thing. I know we provide milk for the schools, and that's been a very positive thing for the children and their development. So, you know, these are little things, but they all add up, and they are very positive.
I became president, first lady president of the club in 1999-2000, which was our millennium year. In that millennium year, there was a project that had started in 1997 under the auspices of Jack Throp and John Gowdy and Brian Matthews and other Rotarians to approach the town of Yarmouth for a green area. We originally started with a planted garden that was done in yellow and blue flowers, which are the Rotary colors, but we didn't have access to water. So when we got the cement path put in, we erected a gazebo at that time. And as things go, eventually we did get water to that area. So there's been many Rotarians that have worked on the park in planting or digging new gardens or anything like that. We've had a very good group of people always willing to go out and get their hands dirty. I also had opportunities to work on some major fundraising. We had with conjunction with Nova Scotia Community College, or it was Burridge campus, the carpentry class with their instructor built a house in North End Yarmouth, which we put up for sale and eventually actually had a lottery on it, and that was to help us raise money for our commitment to the Yarmouth Hospital of $50,000. They were in the expansion mode back then, so we did that. I've been involved in the fundraising for the Mariners Center, where we raised $25,000 there for them, and also we worked towards $25,000 for the MRI. So we've had some really good ability to give back to our communities under the Rotary name and banner, which has been wonderful.
People order, sign up for this program. They're provided meals 5 days a week through working with the hospital, and at a minimal cost, certainly, and the meals. Over the years, I know I've had parishioners who have been involved in it, and they found it very helpful. I remember some of them saying, they took it 3 days a week, and they had it. The meals were large enough that they got enough meals for 6. So I mean, they were more than pleased with it. So it is a wonderful service for people who are living alone, or don't want to cook, or find it difficult to cook for one person. It does provide them with a very valuable service, and many of them, it allows them to stay in their homes a lot longer than they would be able to if that service wasn't there. One of the big projects right now that Rotary is involved in is what we call Polio Plus, the move to eradicate polio from the world. And smallpox is the only other disease that has ever been eradicated, and now Rotary is leading the charge. And that's been going on since 1985. And right now, the largest number of active cases of polio are in 4 countries in the world. It's been narrowed down to that amount, and it's a big Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have provided a challenge. They provided a $1 million challenge first, gave $1 million and asked Rotary to give $1 million, and then shortly after that they gave another $2 million and asked Rotary to match $1 million of that.
We're always undertaking smaller things too. Don't think that that's what we're all about is the big thing, because we do wheelchairs, we do eyeglasses, we do milk programs. We try and do as much as possible.
There's the Rotary Pavilion out at the recreation park in Hebron. They made a major donation for that.
I met many people over the years with Rotary. Some have moved away, some have passed on. We're always looking at new members and wanting to make them feel included right away, make them feel that there's a reason they're there, and that we want them there, and we appreciate their abilities and their willingness to come to the club.
But I think that building of friendships is one of the big things that I have found, the positive things, as well as opportunity for service, because Rotary has a very good name nationally and internationally.
We always need to have new people with new ideas, new insights that will keep us aware of what's happening in their world, and not necessarily as we who are 20 or 30 years older, or even 40 or 50 years older, see it, And we want to make sure that when we bring them in the club that they've got a voice too, that they're heard and they're made to feel inclusive.